Hey guys, Brian here. Welcome back to the shop. It's about time I did a shop update. I've got quite a bit of viewer mail here gathered up I need to go over, and I haven't done a walk around on the shop lately to show you what I've been up to, so we'll do that too and show you an upcoming project or two. But let's get started. So I remember a couple videos ago I needed to broach that hub for the cam, and I did that on the lathe. So if you didn't see that, you should go check it out. I'm not the only one I've seen do that on the internet. I've seen Double Boost do it too. John Mills, if you're not checking out his channel, you probably should. He's got some good stuff, and he speaks in a dialect much like I do. Anyway, I picked up a Dumont broach set that's the right size, so I won't have to use the lathe next time to do that job. And I got a big box here from Ronald Milan, and it's just full of all kinds of various auction plunder, he says. It's like a bunch of countersinks, drills, taps, end mills. It's all just used stuff, but all stuff you can use. Countersinks. Guess that's a spot drill. I got another box of viewer mail here. This one comes from Peter Villacaro, I think is how you say that. Got some old carbaloy cutters, unused, for the lathe. Box of used smaller ones there. Cool old vintage boxes. And got a gooseneck tool. Says LH Nystrom. Guess that's who made it. Not ever had one of these or used one, but I've seen it done. The idea is pretty cool. And got some assorted high-speed tooling to go with it. So thank you very much, Peter. Also, I happened to run across this metric Ames indicator, so maybe I'll use that sometime for you European types that like to work in metric. None of my machines can do metric, so still an interesting tool to have and be able to use. I really like these Ames indicators, so pick that up. While we're on viewer mail, this is viewer mail from another Peter. This is Merlin PXV on YouTube, and he sent this nice big, says Mart machine tool indicator. This would go good in that travel or stop indicator that's on the Monarch. It's got a Federal one in it about that size. I might can change that out. And then a couple of little, looks like Bill's tap tooling. It's got a little carbide cutters on them. Got two different sizes of those. So I'm pretty sure it's some kind of a quick change deal on the end, but I don't have the rest of it that goes with it. But you can't hold it in a shank because I needed to do a deep hole on the side relief, and I used this one here just held in a drill chuck to get that done a while back. Got some more viewer mail here. This comes from YouTuber Fred Newman, who you may know is the guy that hauled Ames shaper. I think he may, I don't know if he hauled the one to Fireball or not too. I think maybe he did. But we got some nice big spade drills. I don't have the holder for these size ones, but I can make one. So a whole stack of different sized spade drills. Four and 5/16 is that big one there. Be a good size hole drill. So thank you very much, Fred, for that. You can go check out Fred's channel. He's building a truck over there from scratch. So I can cut a pretty good swath there, those drill bits. Most of them need cleaned up. I see the corners gone off of two of these. So price is right though. That brings it down to some viewer mail stuff. I got a sticker here from Max Grant, Swan Valley Machine Shop in Perth, Australia. So these have made a long trip to get here. I don't know which one's further, to Bundy Bear's shed or to Swan Valley Machine from here, but both of those have come a long way to get here. And then from the other side of the United States, we've got some active Ames stickers here. Those guys are on the opposite end of the scale from what I work on. Lance and Patrick do watchmaking stuff, which everybody always kids me about my machines doing watchmaking, and I can, just my watch happens to be Big Ben instead of a wristwatch. So I think that gets the viewer mail caught up. We'll walk around the shop, see what's going on. Got a contactor there I'm gonna wire in to turn the 480 volt circuitry on and off in here. Since you're not supposed to start the phase converter against the transformer, I'll wire that in and be able to just flip it on and off for 480 volt for all my 480 volt accessories like the Hypertherm here. Got a bell housing there for the Cummins swap for the forklift, and you get started on that. Got a job here that the hole is kind of wallered out, so I'm gonna have to fix this. Customer job, it'll be a project coming up. The drill needs cleaned off for sure, but it is still working. I used it just the other day. Chips over there. Compressor's still going after its overhaul. Still got my test bar there. Granite table. Part of it's even clean for a change. So need to get that moved and cleaned up and reorganized. Need to move this drill, get it redone, organized. I resealed the end cap on here, was leaking hydraulic fluid out, so if it's no longer slinging oil out, I'll be able to put these covers back on. That's why I haven't put any of that back together. I've been waiting to fix that oil leak. And I got a hydraulic line down there I need to replace too because it's leaking oil. Get that done and put the covers back on. And this was running a bunch of oil out on the floor around the hand dial. So I took that apart. I thought I had some felt to put in there, but I didn't. So I cut a piece of cardboard sheet and put in there, and hopefully that'll help dam the oil back and not so much of it will drip out on the floor. This thing leaves a track on the floor of oil dripping out through there, so I definitely need to do something about that because that's annoying. And I want to put my rubber mats over here for anti-fatigue to walk on, and as long as it's dripping oil out, I don't really want to do that. So need to get that done. Worked a little bit on covering the pits for the boring mill. Haven't really got very far on that, but started trimming it in. Got this end done. Been doing cleaning and organizing on my cart down here for the tooling for the G&L, so I have to go chase it all the time. And more importantly, I've got these Vidmar cabinets cleaned up, painted the bodies anyway. I didn't repaint the drawers. Might do that at a later date. I've started moving tooling in here, and strap clamps and all that, so I don't have to go up to the barn all the time to get it. So it's going to be a nice little measure and work area. As the boss has come to inspect and check, must be good, he's heading on. So, need to get the power hydraulic pump set up for the Cincinnati CNC moved in down here and get that done. Get it hooked up and I can power it up. Also need to get the rest of the ceiling put in over here so that I can move the phase converter and transformer out of the floor and get them put up. Got to get the 2 more Vidmars here cleaned up and painted, and do something with that vise, get it cleaned up, put some paint on it, oil it, keep it from rusting, clean all the rust off anyway. This little transformer here, don't know that I'll need that, but it came with the skid of the tooling. And 1 more Vidmar, small one. I aim to put it there at the end of the lathe, and I aim to move the Carlton to the end of the lathe, let that motor swing over top of that motor, and that'll save me a little bit of floor space. Probably get 2 foot of floor space that would otherwise be wasted, and I believe it'll clear. Now that the lathe's all leveled, still need to get the chip pan off of the back of it so I can get another one of those made for it, but just haven't had time. Winter's coming and I still need to get the rest of the ceiling put in here, so hopefully I'll get some time to get that done before too long. And when it cools down to where it's not 1,000 degrees, I need to get up there and finish screwing down the roof on that other side so it doesn't go through another winter of wind and storms and wind up blowing off all that side of the roof like it did that side this spring. So, lots more to do, just lacking time to do it in. I got an air conditioner salvaged back there too that I'll probably wind up putting through the wall in here to have a little cooling power. I don't have a fancy Mr. Cool AC system, but that one there was the right price I could afford, so that's what it's going to get. We got that Model T engine block there to do when the crank shows up for it. And I got Jay pay dirt shaft to do still, so no shortage of projects. Hopefully now that Bailey's doing better and I don't have to spend as much time playing vet daddy to get him healed back up, I can get a little more work done down here and try and get some stuff caught up. Of course, it started raining here again now that it's been dry for 2 months and pretty well killed the corn crop off. It started raining again, so the grass is back growing, so I'm gonna have to go back to mowing. I haven't had to mow for the last month because it's all been dead. But we've had about 2 inches of rain the last week or so, and it's really greened things back up. It's a good thing. You know, it's not gonna do anything for the corn really, but the trees, a lot of trees were actually starting to turn colors and shed their leaves already like it was fall, which is way early for that. So this rain will certainly help them out quite a bit, and that'd be good. I hate having a bunch of dead trees around to have to deal with too. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, I'll catch y'all later.